Good morning. We got up early this morning to make it to St. Augustine. We're in the oldest city in the country, and we're going to travel around this city today and check out all the things it has to offer.
So today, to get around St. Augustine, we're going to be going on the hop-on, hop-off trolley. It takes us all around the historic sites, and if you see something you want to see, you hop off the trolley, and you can catch the next one later when you're ready to keep on going.
Let's get out of the sun. I can't see nothing. I'm blinded by the light. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Good morning.
Want to get back here?
Sure. Piernas dentro del vehículo en todo momento. Mantenga sus pertenencias personales con usted.
But do feel free to utilize us as your designated driver for the day. Because along this tour, we're going to have 3 stops that offer free samples of their delicious libations if you so choose to partake. It can be found on the island of Bimini in the Bahamas.
So we're having such a good time looking at all the beautiful buildings that are really old, all the huge trees that are around. This is such a gorgeous city.
About 5 times taller than that.
We're at our first stop and we're getting off so we can go see what we can find.
What used to be the St. Augustine Civic Center is now the Visitor Center. So let's go check it out.
So one term you're going to hear a lot today is coquina. Coquina is a type of construction that is made on a lot of the buildings around St. Augustine, and it's a mix of concrete with like a shell aggregate from all of the ground here, the shell and the ocean and all of that stuff. So it's super cool, very strong, and oddly enough, being that it's concrete, it's still kind of flexible or porous.
The Visitor Information Center. Please wait for the bell. The original location of the Wax Museum is just on the outskirts of the plaza.
So we stopped at the oldest drugstore here in town, 1886. This is the original building. Kind of cool, old wooden building.
So this huge, like 6.5-foot coquina ball marks the beginning of the Spanish Trail. It runs from St. Augustine, Florida, all the way to San Diego, California.
Right behind me is the original city gate. Let's go check it out.
So these city gates were constructed back in 1739. That's seriously old for US history. This was the defense for the city to be protected from anybody that might try to infiltrate through use of force. And they used these coquina walls because coquina can withstand hits from cannonballs. It just kind of absorbs the impact and nothing really gets destroyed, and then you just patch it up with some more coquina and you move on.
All right, speaking of wall of defense, this is the fort behind us that they use to protect the city.
This is the spot where the original moat was.
So speaking of the moat, it's really cool how they made it. All the time it stayed dry, except when they felt like they were under attack or there was a threat coming, and then they would dig out a section near the water and they'd allow it to fill up with water.
So we are going to head into the fort, and this is the very first drawbridge I've ever been on.
We are inside the fort right now. This is kind of the barracks area, and over here is the prison where they would put, I guess, people that invaded and they captured.
One thing about the prison, like you can see in the barracks, there's that window behind. Right here in the prison, there's no window. And this little hole, there's so much heat coming out of here. That looks miserable. Another really cool thing is the walls here that separate the different parts of this fort. They're like 3 and 4 feet thick of coquina. This is like just interior walls.
Okay, so this is the restroom for everybody that lived here. It's called a tidal toilet. And they would go to the bathroom in here, and then twice a day the tide would come in and wash it out. It's really one of the most disgusting things I've seen in a while.
All right, so now we're heading upstairs, up toward the top of the fort. This courtyard here is really cool. Just absolutely impressed with like the magnitude of the walls, the architecture. And now let's see what it is up at the top.
So all around the top of this fort are cannons of different size. Some are huge, some are smaller, and there's places that are missing cannons. This place would have been pretty tough to take over by anyone trying to invade it. We are at the old historic St. George Street with lots of shops and restaurants. We're coming up now to the oldest schoolhouse here on St. George Street.
This street here, you know, you can tell it looks like it was built for horse and carriage, not for automobiles. Everything's so close and tight together, but man, it's so cool to see how the whole thing has been restored, you know, in appearance, and then kind of modernized with restaurants and stores.
Went into the Hippo Gourmet Pops shop. I got a key lime pie. Jeff got pumpkin pie cheesecake, right? No,
yes.
Pumpkin cheesecake, key lime pie cheesecake, and Bailey got a mango
Lime and
tahini.
So one thing cool about these, they're all natural ingredients, which we really like. It's all real fruit, you know, no additives and all the other junk that, say what?
It's real key lime.
Real key lime? A lot of things say key lime, but they're made with lime juice. Key lime is very specific with a unique taste. Loving it?
Mm-hmm.
So this is Flagler College, formerly the Ponce de Leon Hotel. It was erected between 1885 and 1887. I'm gonna say I struggle to believe that because the architecture on this is amazing, far superior to any hotel built today. But they did it in 1885, I'm just saying. So back when this was a hotel, this thing was super high-end. Now it's a college, it's enormous. It's all built out of that same coquina architecture that we have seen all over the place here in St. Augustine, and it is gorgeous.
We're now at the Leitner Museum, which used to be the Alcazar Hotel. It's across the street from the Flagler College.
I'm absolutely blown away by the gorgeous architecture of these two hotels. They look very, very similar, built about the same time. Same with that coquina construction. And man, just amazing, amazing beauty and detail, just phenomenal.
My feet hurt so bad. I'm so tired. I'm so glad this trolley is pulling up right now.
So we've been at this day for quite a while. It's really hot today. The high was only supposed to be in the low 80s. That didn't work out. So we're exhausted. We've been riding the trolley, but we've been walking a lot. And Natalie and I have kind of been the mules carrying all the water and other gear in their backpacks. And we're looking for a place that we could just get a snack, something like that, because we want to eat dinner here, but we don't want to eat a full lunch and then try to eat a full dinner. So what do you see, baby?
I don't know. I don't see anything like super close by.
It is a very expensive piece. Guys, it is not my piece. That is actually a trophy that was built for the Denver Broncos.
All right, so problem solved. We're at the Fountain of Youth Archaeological Park, and they have a smoked barbecue place right here. So we're gonna get a snack, we're gonna get our energy back. It was nice being on the trolley riding around, cooling off with the breeze, but we still gotta get some food. So here we go.
All right, we are really exhausted and really hungry. So we found a little snack. We've got some chicken wings and a Caesar salad that we're all gonna share just to get us through till dinner.
So right behind me is what is considered the oldest oak tree in St. Augustine. The University of Florida did a study on it and estimated it being 600 years old, and it's massive. It's so beautiful. So I'm walking down the center of Magnolia Avenue. This is considered the most gorgeous street in St. Augustine, and on many lists, it's in the top 10 most beautiful streets in the country. It's lined with these massive, massive live oak trees, and I gotta say, it is something special. These massive live oak trees are kind of special to me. 10 years ago, Natalie and I sold a landscaping company and nursery down in the Homestead, Florida area. And one of the things we specialized in was restoring poorly maintained, poorly trimmed, like 100, 150-year-old live oak trees. We were one of the few companies that did that. Seeing how amazing these trees are brings back memories of all the trees that we have restored over the years. Another thing you see here around St. Augustine is walls built with whole oyster shells. When you see that, it means keep out. These were built in like that concrete type of structure, and they put the whole shells in there because those whole shells, if you try to climb the wall, they will cut up your legs, cut up your knees, cut up your hands. It's a defense line. So right off of Magnolia Avenue, the Fountain of Youth. Natalie and Bailey are both in like some nice cushy running shoes. And I'm in these Keen sandals because that's all I brought, you know, thinking we're going to be in Florida for 8 days. And I've been tearing my feet up with like the little bit of sand that blows around here, and it gets underneath. The sand gets underneath my shoes or inside of my shoes, and oh gosh, it's tearing up my feet. So we've been walking around for 10 minutes looking for some fountain, some water source for me to put my feet into.
We have chosen to eat at Casa Reina tonight. It's a Mexican kind of local restaurant right on the water. The dishes look really good.
So as an appetizer, we got chips and salsa. Let's try it out. That's really good.
So you may be asking yourself, you're in St. Augustine, Florida, and you're eating at a Mexican restaurant. Well, it's true, we are. But we've had so much amazing seafood in Florida, like all over the place in Florida, that we wanted to do something a little bit different because we've had a lot. I've had a lot of fish tacos, and we heard this restaurant. It's locally owned. We've heard that it's really awesome, so we wanted to give it a try.
This restaurant has bottomless chips and salsa, which can be really dangerous for Jeff and Bailey. So I got the fried grouper, and it has this green sauce that's all over the top of it. It looks amazing.
Enchiladas.
Enchilada.
So I got the pollo enchiladas. Chicken enchiladas. They look really good with the ranchero sauce. All right, so let's give them a try. Certainly looks really good. It is very good. And then I also got this Mexican corn, which I'm glad it's off the cob, which is cool. It's like a corn salad. That's really good too. It's like a little bit of a sweet taste.
I got the chicken enchiladas also. Really good.
Really good. Really good. We're eating out on the patio tonight, and the temperature has really dropped now. It's so nice. There's a nice breeze. This is like the perfect place to have dinner. Alright guys, we have had an amazing time today here in St. Augustine. We are going to go get some rest because we are exhausted. We will see you next time as our story continues.